Understanding mindfulness. Have you ever found yourself going through the motions of your day, perhaps eating a meal without truly tasting it, or driving to a familiar place only to realize you don't remember much of the journey? This common experience, often called autopilot, is something most of us can relate to, where our bodies are present, but our minds are miles away, lost in thought, worry, or planning. While a certain degree of routine helps us navigate daily life efficiently, a constant state of mental absence can leave us feeling disconnected from our experiences and the world around us. It's like watching your own life unfold from a distance, rather than being an active, engaged participant in every moment. This feeling of being adrift can contribute to a sense of emptiness or dissatisfaction, even when things are objectively going well. We often miss the small joys and subtle details that make life rich and meaningful, simply because our attention is elsewhere. Recognizing this autopilot mode is often the first step toward a more engaged and fulfilling way of living. This is where mindfulness steps in, offering a powerful antidote to the distracted and often overwhelmed state of modern existence. At its core, mindfulness is about intentionally bringing your attention to the present moment without judgment. It's not some mystical, esoteric practice reserved for gurus or monks. Rather, it's a practical skill accessible to everyone, designed to help you become more aware of your internal and external experiences as they unfold. Think of it as waking up to your own life, tuning into the sensations, thoughts, and emotions that are happening right now, rather than dwelling on the past or fretting about the future. It's about consciously choosing where to place your attention and then gently redirecting it when your mind inevitably wanders. This simple yet profound shift in awareness can profoundly change how you experience everything, from your morning coffee to challenging conversations. It's important to clarify what mindfulness is not, as there are many misconceptions floating around. Mindfulness is not about emptying your mind of all thoughts or stopping your emotions from arising. That's simply not how the human mind works. Nor is it about achieving a constant state of blissful calm, though peace can often be a byproduct of regular practice. Instead, mindfulness invites you to observe your thoughts, feelings, and bodily sensations as they come and go, like clouds passing across the sky, without getting caught up in them or trying to change them. You learn to acknowledge their presence, understand their temporary nature, and choose how you respond rather than reacting impulsively. This gentle observation creates a vital space between you and your experiences, allowing for greater clarity and intentionality in your actions. A crucial component of mindfulness, especially in the context of DBT, is the non-judgmental aspect. This means approaching your experiences with an attitude of curiosity and acceptance, rather than labeling them as good or bad, right or wrong. When we judge our thoughts or feelings, we often add layers of suffering to an already difficult situation, criticizing ourselves for feeling a certain way. Non-judgmental awareness allows us to simply notice what is happening without the added burden of self-criticism or blame. It cultivates a sense of self-compassion, helping you recognize that thoughts and emotions are natural human experiences, not personal failures. This acceptance doesn't mean you approve of everything you experience. It simply means acknowledging its presence in the moment, which is a powerful step toward changing what you can and accepting what you cannot. In Dialectical Behavior Therapy, DBT, mindfulness isn't just one skill among many. It's the very foundation upon which all other DBT skills are built. It acts as the how-to for living skillfully, providing the necessary awareness to effectively use emotion regulation, distress tolerance, and interpersonal effectiveness techniques. Without mindfulness, it would be incredibly difficult to even recognize that an intense emotion is starting to build, or that you're falling into unhelpful thought patterns. It's like trying to navigate a complex city without a map or knowing where you are. Mindfulness gives you that internal compass and helps you locate yourself in the present moment. By developing your mindfulness skills, you gain the ability to observe your internal landscape and make conscious choices about how to respond to life's challenges, rather than being swept away by them. This foundational awareness is what empowers you to truly master the other modules. Mindfulness plays a particularly vital role in emotion regulation. one of the core DBT modules. When we are mindful, we create a small but significant pause between experiencing an emotion and reacting to it. This pause allows us to observe the emotion, notice its physical sensations, and identify the thoughts associated with it, rather than being immediately consumed by it. For instance, if anger arises, mindfulness helps you notice the tightening in your chest or the heat in your face, rather than automatically lashing out. This awareness provides an opportunity to choose a skillful response, perhaps by using a distress tolerance technique or applying an emotion regulation strategy, instead of letting the emotion dictate your actions. It's about becoming the observer of your emotions, rather than being completely identified with them, which significantly reduces their power to overwhelm you. Furthermore, mindfulness greatly enhances interpersonal effectiveness, helping us navigate our relationships with greater clarity and intention. When you are truly present in a conversation, you are better able to listen actively, understand the other person's perspective, and communicate your own needs clearly. Instead of being distracted by internal chatter or rehearsing your next line, you can fully engage with what is being said, both verbally and non-verbally. This heightened awareness allows you to pick up on subtle cues, respond thoughtfully, and avoid misunderstandings that often arise from a lack of presence. By being mindful during interactions, you build stronger connections, foster empathy, and become more skilled at setting boundaries and resolving conflicts respectfully. It transforms communication from a reactive exchange into a conscious, connected interaction. In moments of intense emotional pain or crisis, mindfulness also becomes an indispensable tool for distress tolerance. When confronted with overwhelming emotions or difficult situations that cannot be immediately changed, the natural inclination might be to avoid, suppress, or numb the pain. However, mindfulness teaches us to turn towards the discomfort, not to wallow in it, but to observe it with a sense of gentle curiosity. By mindfully noticing the sensations of distress without judgment, you can learn that even intense feelings are temporary and will eventually pass. This practice helps to prevent the escalation of suffering and allows you to ride out the emotional wave, rather than being drowned by it, until a more effective solution can be found. It offers a way to endure and accept pain in the short term without making things worse, which is a crucial skill for building resilience. It's important to understand that practicing mindfulness doesn't mean you'll suddenly feel calm and serene all the time. That's an unrealistic expectation and can lead to frustration. In fact, when you first start paying attention, you might even notice more discomfort, simply because you're becoming aware of things you previously ignored or pushed away. The goal isn't to feel a certain way, but to become more aware of whatever you are feeling, thinking, or sensing in the present moment. Whether it's joy, sadness, boredom, or say, mindfulness invites you to acknowledge it without getting tangled up in it. This radical acceptance of your present experience, however pleasant or unpleasant, is where true transformation begins. It's about expanding your capacity to be with what is, rather than constantly fighting against reality. Think of mindfulness as a muscle that strengthens with consistent exercise, rather than a magical switch you can flip. Just like learning to play an instrument or mastering a sport, it requires regular, dedicated practice to develop and integrate into your daily life. You wouldn't expect to become a master painter after one lesson, and similarly, you won't become perfectly mindful overnight. There will be days when your mind feels particularly busy and unfocused, and other days when you find it easier to settle into the present moment. The key is consistency and gentle persistence, returning to the practice again and again, even when it feels challenging or unproductive. Every moment you bring your attention back to the present is a small victory, building your capacity for greater awareness and presence over time. The benefits of cultivating mindfulness extend far beyond just managing difficult emotions. They permeate every aspect of your life, leading to a richer, more fulfilling existence. Regular mindfulness practice has been shown to reduce stress, improve focus, enhance self-awareness, and even foster greater compassion for yourself and others. As you become more attuned to your inner world, You gain a deeper understanding of your own patterns, triggers, and values, which empowers you to live more authentically. You might find yourself experiencing everyday moments with greater appreciation, noticing the beauty in a sunset or the warmth of a friendly smile. Ultimately, mindfulness helps you create a life that feels more intentional, connected, and truly lived, rather than merely observed from the sidelines. It provides the tools to be fully present for the precious moments of your own unique journey. As we move forward in this workbook, we will delve deeper into specific mindfulness skills and exercises that you can begin practicing immediately to cultivate this powerful awareness. These practical techniques will guide you step by step in developing your capacity to observe, describe, and participate fully in the present moment. Remember, this journey is about learning and growing, and every small step you take towards greater mindfulness is a valuable investment in your emotional well-being and overall quality of life. Be patient with yourself, approach each practice with curiosity, and trust that with consistent effort, you can truly master the art of being present. Let's embark on this transformative path together, unlocking the profound power of mindful living. Mindfulness skills. What, wise, and willing mind. Having explored the foundational concept of mindfulness, we now turn our attention to the practical skills that bring it to life. Mindfulness isn't just about understanding a concept. It's about actively engaging with your world in a new way, and DBT offers us 3 core ways to do just that. The what skills, the wise mind, and the willing mind. These aren't just fancy terms. They are powerful tools designed to help you navigate your experiences with greater clarity, balance, and effectiveness. Think of them as the operating instructions for your mind, guiding you toward a more present and purposeful existence. Mastering these skills will fundamentally change how you interact with your thoughts, feelings, and the world around you, paving the way for lasting emotional well-being. First, let's dive into the what skills of mindfulness. Observe, describe, and participate. These are your moment-to-moment actions, literally defining what you do when you're being mindful. They teach you to be fully present and aware of your experience without getting tangled up in judgment or distraction. Imagine them as a tripod supporting your mindfulness practice, each leg essential for stability and clear vision. Without these fundamental actions, mindfulness remains an abstract idea rather than a lived experience, so practicing them regularly is key to building a solid foundation. These skills are the active ingredients in your journey toward greater self-awareness and emotional regulation. To observe means simply noticing what's happening around you and within you, without adding any commentary or evaluation. It's like watching a movie or listening to a song without analyzing it or deciding if it's good or bad. You just let the experience unfold. This involves tuning into your 5 senses. What do you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch in this very moment? It also means noticing your thoughts, feelings, and body sensations as they arise, like clouds passing in the sky. The goal here is pure awareness, a gentle curiosity about your internal and external landscape, free from the urge to change or judge anything. Next, to describe involves putting words to your observations, but with a strict focus on facts and concrete details. Instead of saying, "I feel terrible," you might describe, "I notice a tightening in my chest, and my thoughts are racing about the meeting tomorrow." The crucial part is to stick to what you can objectively observe and avoid interpretations, judgments, or assumptions. For instance, rather than labeling someone as rude, you might describe, "They spoke loudly and interrupted me 3 times." This skill helps you gain clarity and distance from intense emotions, allowing you to understand your experiences without getting swept away by them. Finally, to participate means fully immersing yourself in the present moment, becoming one with whatever you are doing. This is about letting go of self-consciousness, worries about the past, or anxieties about the future, and simply being all in. Whether you're washing dishes, listening to a friend, or walking in nature, participation means giving your full attention to that activity. It's about experiencing life directly, without holding back or observing yourself from a distance. When you participate fully, you find yourself more engaged and often experience greater joy and connection, transforming mundane tasks into mindful experiences. Now, let's explore the concept of the wise mind, a central idea in DBT that helps us make balanced decisions and navigate complex situations. We all have two other minds at play, the emotional mind and the rational mind. The emotional mind is driven by feelings, impulses, and needs, often leading to intense reactions. It's where your passions, fears, and desires reside, sometimes making it hard to think clearly. This mind can be powerful and motivating, but it can also lead to impulsive choices we later regret, especially when emotions are running high. On the other hand, the rational mind is all about logic, facts, and reason. It's the part of you that plans, analyzes, and thinks critically, often suppressing emotions to focus on objective data. While incredibly useful for problem solving and making practical decisions, relying solely on the rational mind can leave you feeling cold, disconnected, or out of touch with your deeper needs and values. It can sometimes dismiss valid emotional cues, leading to a sense of emptiness or an inability to connect authentically with others. Both of these minds have their strengths and weaknesses, and neither is inherently bad. The wise mind is the beautiful integration of these two extremes. It's the place where your emotions and logic come together to inform a more complete understanding. It's like finding the sweet spot, the gentle balance between what you feel and what you know to be true or effective. You might recognize wise mind as your gut feeling, intuition, or a deep sense of knowing that just feels right, even if you can't logically explain it. This is where your inner wisdom resides, guiding you toward actions that honor both your heart and your head. Accessing your wise mind often involves pausing, taking a breath, and checking in with yourself before making a decision or reacting to a situation. It's about asking, what does my gut tell me here, combined with what I know to be true? Sometimes it feels like a quiet sense of certainty, a calm knowing that emerges when you step back from the intensity of your emotions or the rigidness of pure logic. This balanced perspective allows for more effective and compassionate responses, helping you avoid the pitfalls of acting purely on impulse or solely on cold calculation. Finally, we come to the willing mind, a crucial skill for accepting reality and engaging in effective action, especially when things are difficult. Willingness isn't about liking or approving of a situation, it's about acknowledging reality as it is, without fighting against it. It's an active choice to be open to what is happening and to do what is necessary and effective, even if it feels uncomfortable or goes against your immediate desires. This skill is particularly vital when faced with situations you cannot change, allowing you to move forward instead of getting stuck in resistance. The opposite of willing mind is willfulness, which is like digging your heels in and refusing to accept reality. Willfulness can manifest as saying, it shouldn't be this way, or I won't do it, even when doing so would lead to a better outcome. It's a stubborn refusal to tolerate distress or to engage in problem solving, often fueled by a desire for things to be different than they are. While it might feel empowering in the moment, willfulness usually leads to more suffering, frustration, and a sense of being stuck, preventing you from moving towards your goals. Recognizing when you are being willful is the first step toward cultivating a more willing stance. Cultivating a willing mind means approaching situations with an attitude of, what can I do now that is effective, rather than, how can I make this go away or be different? It involves acknowledging your feelings of discomfort, anger, or sadness about a situation, but then choosing to act in a way that aligns with your long-term goals and values. For example, if you're stuck in traffic, willfulness might be honking your horn and getting angry, while willingness would be accepting the delay, and perhaps listening to a podcast or practicing a breathing exercise. It's about choosing acceptance over futile resistance. These three aspects, the what skills, wise mind, and willing mind, are not isolated concepts. They work in concert to build a robust mindfulness practice. The what skills give you the tools to observe, describe, and participate in your present experience, bringing awareness to what is happening. Wise mind then helps you interpret those observations and feelings with balance, guiding you toward informed and effective choices. Finally, willing mind provides the acceptance and motivation to actually implement those choices, even when they are challenging. Each skill strengthens the others, creating a powerful synergy for managing your emotional life. Imagine a scenario where you're feeling overwhelmed at work. Using your what skills, you might observe the tightness in your shoulders, describe the racing thoughts about your to-do list, and try to participate fully in one task at a time. Then, tapping into your wise mind, you might recognize that while your emotional mind wants to quit and your rational mind says you must finish everything immediately, your wise mind suggests taking a short, mindful break to regain perspective. Finally, with a willing mind, you accept the feeling of overwhelm and commit to taking that break, even if it feels counterintuitive, knowing it's the most effective action. This integrated approach empowers you to navigate life's challenges with greater skill and resilience. As you move forward in this workbook, remember that developing these mindfulness skills is a journey, not a destination. There will be days when accessing your wise mind feels effortless, and other days when willfulness seems to take over. The key is consistent practice and a compassionate attitude toward yourself. Each moment you consciously choose to observe, describe, participate, connect with your wise mind, or adopt a willing mind is a step toward greater emotional freedom and a life lived with more intention and presence. Embrace these skills as your allies in building a more balanced and fulfilling existence. Observing and describing your experiences. Building on our understanding of mindfulness, where we learn to cultivate a wise mind and approach experiences with willingness, we now dive into the practical what skills, observing and describing. These foundational abilities are like learning to see and then articulate what you see without adding any filters or interpretations. Imagine yourself as a scientist studying your own inner and outer world, simply gathering data without judgment or preconceived notions. This isn't always easy, as our minds are naturally inclined to label and evaluate, but it's a powerful step toward greater self-awareness and emotional mastery. By intentionally practicing these skills, you begin to create a valuable space between stimulus and response, a crucial element for managing intense emotions and making more conscious choices in your life. Observing, in the context of DBT, means simply noticing what is happening in the present moment, both inside and outside of you, without getting caught up in it. It's about paying attention to your senses, what you see, hear, smell, taste, and touch, as well as your internal experiences, such as thoughts, feelings, and urges. Think of it like watching clouds drift across the sky. You notice their shapes, their movement, and their colors, but you don't try to stop them or change them. You are simply present with the experience, allowing it to unfold naturally without interference. This mindful observation is a radical shift from our usual tendency to immediately react, analyze, or judge everything that crosses our path. When you observe your thoughts, for instance, you're not engaging with them or believing them as absolute truths. You're just noticing that they are there, like words appearing on a screen. Similarly, observing your emotions means recognizing the physical sensations associated with them, like a tightening in your chest or a warmth in your face, rather than getting swept away by the emotion itself. This practice helps you understand that thoughts and feelings are temporary events, not permanent aspects of your identity. It allows you to step back and gain a clearer perspective on your internal landscape, fostering a sense of calm, even amidst emotional turbulence. This gentle, non-judgmental attention is the bedrock upon which all other DBT skills are built. The power of observation lies in its ability to create distance from your immediate experiences. Instead of being completely immersed in a wave of anxiety, you can observe, I am noticing a sensation of tightness in my stomach and a racing heart. This subtle shift from I am anxious to I am observing anxiety can significantly reduce the intensity of the emotion. It's like taking a step back from a painting to see the whole picture, rather than being nose to canvas and only seeing one brush stroke. This newfound perspective helps you to respond thoughtfully to situations rather than reacting impulsively, giving you a greater sense of control over your emotional life. It truly is the first essential step in changing your relationship with your inner world. Once you've honed your ability to observe, the next crucial skill is describing. This involves putting words to what you've observed, but with a very specific and intentional approach. Purely factually, and without any judgment or interpretation. It means articulating your experiences in a way that anyone else could verify, almost as if you're reporting from a crime scene or describing a scientific experiment. The goal is to strip away all the layers of opinion, evaluation, and assumption that we typically add to our descriptions. This might sound simple, but it requires diligent practice to rewire our natural tendency to immediately label things as good or bad, right or wrong, or fair or unfair. To describe effectively, focus on concrete sensory details. Instead of saying, "My boss is a jerk," which is a judgment, you would describe, "My boss raised his voice and told me my report was unsatisfactory." Similarly, rather than, "I had a terrible day," you might describe, "I experienced 2 unexpected challenges at work today, and I felt frustrated and tired by the evening." Notice how the factual description provides information without imposing a subjective, emotionally charged label. This skill is vital because judgmental language often intensifies our emotional reactions and can escalate conflicts with others. By sticking to the facts, you create a clearer and less emotionally charged understanding of your experiences. Describing your emotions non-judgmentally is a particularly powerful application of this skill. Instead of declaring, "I am worthless," which is a deep judgment and belief, you would describe, "I am having the thought that I am worthless." This distinction is profound because it acknowledges the thought as a mental event, not an absolute truth. When describing feelings, focus on the physical sensations and urges. For example, instead of, "I'm so angry," you could say, "I notice a throbbing sensation in my temples, my jaw feels tight, and I have an urge to clench my fists." This breaks down the overwhelming emotion into observable components, making it less intimidating and more manageable. This practice of describing thoughts and emotions as distinct events, separate from your core identity, is called cognitive diffusion. It helps you recognize that thoughts are not necessarily facts, and feelings are not necessarily permanent directives. By describing, "I am noticing the thought that I will fail," rather than simply, "I will fail," you create a vital space between you and the thought. This space allows you to examine the thought without being consumed by it, giving you the freedom to choose how you respond. It's about acknowledging your inner experiences without letting them dictate your entire reality, fostering a sense of mental agility and freedom. The benefits of mastering both observing and describing extend far beyond individual emotional regulation. They profoundly impact your relationships. When you can describe your experiences without judgment, you communicate more clearly and effectively with others. Instead of saying, "You always make me angry," which is an accusation and a judgment, you can say, "When you spoke in that tone, I felt a surge of anger in my chest." This factual, non-judgmental description invites understanding and problem solving, rather than defensiveness. It allows for more honest and productive conversations, strengthening your connections and reducing misunderstandings. These 2 what skills, observing and describing, are intrinsically linked and designed to be practiced together. You first observe an experience, a sight, a sound, a thought, or a feeling, and then you describe it using factual, non-judgmental language. This continuous loop of awareness and articulation helps to solidify your presence in the moment and deepen your understanding of yourself. It's a mindful way of processing reality, allowing you to engage with life as it truly is, rather than through the distorted lens of your judgments and assumptions. Consistent practice will make this process feel more natural and intuitive, gradually integrating into your daily life. It's important to acknowledge that this process can feel incredibly challenging at first, as our brains are wired for efficiency, often taking shortcuts by labeling and judging instantly. You might find yourself observing something and immediately thinking, "This is boring," or "I shouldn't be feeling this way." The key is to notice those judgments and then gently return to simply observing and describing the facts. Don't judge your judgments, simply observe them as another mental event. Patience and self-compassion are your most valuable allies on this journey, reminding you that skill building takes time and persistent effort. Every time you catch yourself judging and then return to describing, you are strengthening your mindful muscle. To begin practicing, start small and with neutral experiences. You could try observing and describing the taste of a piece of fruit, the sensation of walking, or the sounds around you. I taste sweetness and a slight tartness on my tongue, or I feel the pressure of my feet on the ground and hear the distant hum of traffic. As you become more comfortable, gradually extend these skills to your internal experiences, such as a fleeting thought or a mild emotion. Remember, the goal isn't perfection, but consistent, gentle effort. Each moment you choose to observe and describe, you are actively cultivating a more mindful and balanced approach to life. By diligently practicing observing and describing, you build a solid foundation for all the other DBT skills you will learn. These aren't just abstract concepts. They are tangible tools that empower you to navigate the complexities of your inner world and your relationships with greater clarity and effectiveness. You'll find yourself less reactive, more thoughtful, and better equipped to handle life's inevitable challenges. Embrace this journey of mindful awareness and precise articulation, as it opens the door to a more grounded and fulfilling existence, fostering the emotional resilience you deserve. This commitment to present moment awareness is truly a gift you give yourself. Participating fully in the present moment. After learning to carefully observe and describe our experiences, we arrive at the next crucial step in mindfulness: participating fully in the present moment. Think of it this way. Observing is like sitting on the sidelines, noticing every detail of a game as it unfolds, while describing is narrating those details out loud. Participating fully, however, means stepping onto the field yourself, becoming an active player, completely immersed in the action. This skill invites us to move beyond just witnessing our lives and instead to truly live them, engaging with every fiber of our being. It's about being all in, whether you're washing dishes, listening to a friend, or savoring a meal. This deep level of engagement allows for a richer, more meaningful interaction with everything around you, transforming mundane tasks into opportunities for connection and awareness. By participating fully, we shift from being mere spectators to becoming active co-creators of our own reality, embracing each moment as it comes. Many of us spend our days in a state of partial presence, our minds often miles away from what our bodies are doing. We might be scrolling through our phones while eating dinner, mentally rehearsing a conversation during a walk, or planning our next task while someone is speaking to us. This fragmented attention prevents us from truly connecting with our experiences, leaving us feeling disconnected and often unfulfilled, even when engaging in activities we supposedly enjoy. When we don't participate fully, we miss out on the subtle joys, the rich textures, and the profound lessons that each moment holds. Our minds become a noisy echo chamber of past regrets and future worries, stealing the vibrancy from the here and now. Learning to participate fully is about reclaiming these lost moments and bringing our whole selves back into the present. So what does it truly mean to participate fully? It means giving your vivid attention, bringing your entire mind and body to whatever you are doing without holding back. It's about dropping any self-consciousness, any judgments, and any distractions that might pull you away from the immediate experience. Imagine singing along to your favorite song, not just hearing the notes, but feeling the rhythm in your chest, letting the lyrics resonate with your emotions, and allowing your voice to blend with the melody. That's participation. It's not about doing things perfectly or flawlessly, but about being completely absorbed in the act itself, letting go of the outcome, and simply being present within the process. This complete immersion is where real living happens, where we find genuine connection and authentic joy. This skill is particularly powerful because it helps us break free from the cycle of rumination and worry that often plagues our minds. When we are fully participating, there simply isn't much room for our minds to wander off into negative thought patterns or anxieties about the future. Our attention is entirely occupied by the task at hand, whether it's a simple breath, a challenging conversation, or a creative project. It's like a mental reset button, pulling us out of the swirling vortex of our thoughts and grounding us firmly in the tangible reality of the present. By focusing all our mental energy on what is happening right now, we naturally reduce the mental noise and create a sense of inner calm and clarity. This intentional focus allows us to experience life with greater depth and less mental clutter. Consider the simple act of eating. Observing your meal might involve noticing the colors, the arrangement on the plate, or the texture of the food. Describing it would be articulating those observations. The pasta is a creamy white, the sauce a vibrant red, and the basil is a dark green. Participating fully, however, means engaging all your senses in the experience. You would slowly chew, noticing the distinct flavors on your tongue, the warmth of the food, the aroma filling your nostrils, and the sensation of swallowing. Your mind wouldn't be on your to-do list or yesterday's argument. It would be entirely focused on the act of nourishing your body and savoring each bite. This deep engagement transforms a routine necessity into a mindful, pleasurable experience, fostering a profound connection with your food and your body. Another excellent example of full participation is found in creative endeavors or hobbies. When you are truly absorbed in painting, playing an instrument, or building something with your hands, time seems to melt away. Your focus narrows, and your mind becomes entirely dedicated to the task, blocking out external distractions and internal chatter. This state of flow, often experienced during full participation, is incredibly rewarding and stress-reducing. It allows you to tap into a deeper part of yourself, where creativity and intuition can flourish without the interference of self-judgment or critical thoughts. Engaging in these activities with complete presence not only enhances the outcome, but also provides a powerful sense of accomplishment and inner peace, recharging your spirit. Participating fully also extends to our interactions with others, profoundly impacting our relationships. When we listen to someone with our full attention, truly hearing their words, observing their expressions, and sensing their emotions, we create a powerful connection. We aren't just waiting for our turn to speak or formulating our response. We are completely present for them. This level of empathetic engagement makes others feel seen, heard, and valued, strengthening bonds and fostering deeper understanding. It allows us to respond more thoughtfully and authentically, rather than reacting from a place of distraction or misunderstanding. Giving someone your full presence is one of the most profound gifts you can offer, building bridges of genuine human connection. The challenge often lies in letting go of the urge to control, judge, or analyze the moment. Our minds are wired to categorize and evaluate, but full participation requires us to temporarily suspend these mental habits. It means accepting the moment as it is, without trying to change it, fix it, or label it as good or bad. This non-judgmental stance is critical, as judgment can instantly pull us out of the present and into a cycle of critical thinking. Instead, we practice simply being with the experience, allowing ourselves to be fully open to whatever sensations, thoughts, or emotions arise, without resistance. It's a radical act of acceptance, embracing the unfolding reality without needing to alter its course. Sometimes the present moment might be unpleasant or difficult, and the natural inclination is to resist it, distract ourselves, or wish it away. However, participating fully doesn't mean we have to enjoy every moment, but rather that we are fully present with every moment, even the uncomfortable ones. If you're experiencing sadness, full participation might mean allowing yourself to feel the sadness fully, noticing the physical sensations without trying to suppress it or escape from it. This doesn't mean wallowing in negativity, but rather acknowledging and experiencing your reality without avoidance. Paradoxically, fully engaging with difficult emotions can often lead to their eventual dissipation, as resistance often prolongs their intensity. It's a courageous act of self-compassion, allowing ourselves to be human in all its complexities. To practice participating fully, start with simple, everyday activities. Choose one routine task, like brushing your teeth, walking to the kitchen, or making your bed. Before you begin, take a deep breath and set an intention to bring your full awareness to that activity. As you perform the task, notice the sensations, the feel of the toothbrush bristles, the sound of your footsteps, the texture of the sheets. If your mind wanders, gently guide it back to the present moment without judgment. This isn't about perfection, it's about consistent effort and gentle redirection. Each time you bring your attention back, you strengthen your participation muscle, making it easier to stay present in the future. Another helpful technique is to engage all your senses in an experience. For instance, if you're taking a shower, focus on the warmth of the water on your skin, the scent of the soap, the sound of the water hitting the tiles, and even the taste of the water if it gets on your lips. By intentionally tuning into multiple sensory inputs, you make it harder for your mind to drift away. This sensory immersion anchors you firmly in the present, creating a rich tapestry of experience that demands your full attention. The more senses you can engage, the more deeply you will participate, transforming a mundane routine into a powerful mindfulness practice that invigorates your entire being. Remember, participating fully is a skill, and like any skill, it improves with consistent practice. You won't always succeed, and that's perfectly okay. There will be moments when your mind is distracted, when you feel resistant, or when you simply forget to be present. The key is to approach these moments with self-compassion, acknowledging the lapse without judgment, and gently bringing your attention back to the present. Each time you try, you are reinforcing new neural pathways and building your capacity for presence. It's a journey, not a destination, and every moment of conscious participation is a step toward a more fulfilling and engaged life. This practice directly supports the overarching goal of DBT, to build a life worth living. When we participate fully, we infuse our lives with meaning, joy, and connection, even amidst challenges. We become more resilient, more attuned to our own needs, and more capable of navigating the complexities of our emotional landscape. It allows us to truly experience the good moments, learn from the difficult ones, and connect authentically with the world around us. By embracing full participation, we unlock a deeper sense of purpose and contentment, transforming our daily existence into a vibrant, engaged journey of self-discovery and growth. It's a powerful tool for cultivating inner peace and external harmony, enriching every facet of our lives. Ultimately, participating fully is about choosing to be alive, right here, right now, with everything that entails. It's about dropping the mental baggage of the past and the anxieties of the future, and simply inhabiting the present moment with open arms and a willing spirit. It is an act of radical presence, a commitment to experiencing life as it unfolds, rather than just observing it from a distance. As you integrate this skill into your daily life, you will notice a profound shift in your awareness, your relationships, and your overall sense of well-being. Embrace the opportunity to step fully into your life, to truly engage, and to discover the richness that awaits you in the here and now. Mindfulness exercises and practices. Now that you understand the core principles of mindfulness, what it means to be present, observant, and engaged with your experiences, it's time to put these concepts into action. Learning about mindfulness is a crucial first step, but the real transformation happens when you start integrating it into your daily life through consistent practice. Think of these exercises not as chores, but as opportunities to build a stronger, more peaceful connection with yourself and the world around you. They are tools designed to help you navigate the ups and downs of life with greater calm and clarity, allowing you to respond thoughtfully instead of reacting impulsively. Each practice offers a unique path to anchoring yourself in the present, helping you break free from the constant pull of past regrets or future worries. This section will guide you through several accessible and effective mindfulness exercises, empowering you to cultivate a deeper sense of awareness. Embarking on a mindfulness journey doesn't require hours of dedicated meditation or a special, quiet room. It simply asks for your willingness to try and a few moments of your time. You might feel a bit awkward or distracted at first, and that's perfectly normal. The goal isn't to achieve a perfectly blank mind, but rather to notice what's happening without judgment and gently bring your attention back when it wanders. Consistency is far more important than perfection, so even a few minutes each day can make a profound difference over time. Remember, every single moment is an opportunity to practice mindfulness, even amidst the busiest parts of your day. Be patient and kind to yourself as you explore these practices, understanding that growth happens gradually. This journey is about discovering a more present and engaged way of living, one breath at a time. One of the most foundational and universally accessible mindfulness practices is mindful breathing. Your breath is always with you, a constant anchor to the present moment, making it an ideal starting point for cultivating awareness. This exercise helps you tune into your body's natural rhythm and observe sensations without getting caught up in thoughts or external distractions. It's a simple yet powerful way to calm your nervous system, reduce stress, and bring your focus back to what's happening right now. Even a few conscious breaths can shift your state, helping you feel more grounded and centered almost instantly. Consider your breath a portable sanctuary, always available whenever you need a moment of peace. Learning to notice your breath can truly transform how you experience everyday life. To begin mindful breathing, find a comfortable position, whether sitting upright or lying down, and gently close your eyes if that feels right. Start by simply noticing the sensation of your breath as it enters and leaves your body. Pay attention to where you feel the breath most prominently, perhaps the rise and fall of your abdomen, the expansion of your chest, or the subtle coolness at your nostrils. Don't try to change your breath, just observe it as it is, without judgment or expectation. When your mind inevitably wanders, which it will, gently acknowledge the thought without dwelling on it, and then redirect your attention back to the physical sensation of your breath. Each time you bring your focus back, you're strengthening your mindfulness muscle, building a greater capacity for presence. Practicing mindful breathing regularly can lead to a significant reduction in anxiety and an increased sense of inner peace. You might find that your breathing naturally deepens and slows as you become more attuned to it, which further promotes relaxation. However, it's common to encounter resistance or frustration during this exercise, especially when your mind feels particularly busy. Don't let these moments discourage you. They are part of the practice. Each time you notice your mind has strayed and you gently guide it back to your breath, you are actively practicing mindfulness. This consistent, gentle redirection is where the real power of the exercise lies, teaching you resilience and focus in the face of internal distractions. Over time, you'll discover a newfound ability to stay present even when things get tough. Another incredibly effective way to connect with your body and the present moment is through the body scan meditation. This practice systematically brings your attention to different parts of your body, noticing any sensations that arise without judgment. It helps you become more aware of physical tension, discomfort, or relaxation that you might not typically notice in your busy day-to-day life. By consciously observing these sensations, you can develop a deeper understanding of how your emotions manifest physically and learn to release held tension. The body scan encourages a gentle curiosity, inviting you to explore your physical self with kindness and acceptance. This practice can be particularly helpful for managing chronic pain or simply de-stressing after a long day. To perform a body scan, lie down comfortably on your back, perhaps on a mat or bed, and allow your arms and legs to rest naturally. Close your eyes if you feel comfortable doing so, and take a few deep, calming breaths to settle your mind. Begin by bringing your awareness to your toes, noticing any sensations there: warmth, coolness, tingling, or pressure. Then, slowly and deliberately, move your attention up through your feet, ankles, calves, and knees, continuing this journey through your entire body. As you focus on each area, simply observe what you find without trying to change or fix anything. Imagine your awareness as a gentle spotlight, illuminating each part of your body with soft curiosity and acceptance, moving all the way up to the crown of your head. As you scan each part of your body, you might encounter areas of tension or discomfort, or perhaps areas that feel completely neutral. The key is to simply acknowledge these sensations without getting caught up in them or judging them as good or bad. If you notice tension, you can gently invite a sense of softness or release into that area, but without forcing it. The purpose isn't to eliminate sensation, but to become intimately familiar with your body's current state. If your mind wanders during the scan, which is perfectly natural, just gently guide it back to the part of your body you are focusing on. This practice enhances your interoception, your internal sense of your body, which is vital for emotional regulation and self-awareness. Mindful eating offers a delightful way to bring awareness into one of our most routine daily activities. Often, we eat quickly, distracted by screens or conversations, barely tasting our food or noticing when we're full. Mindful eating invites you to slow down, engage all your senses, and truly savor your meal, transforming a simple act into a rich sensory experience. This practice can help you develop a healthier relationship with food, recognize your body's hunger and fullness cues, and appreciate the nourishment you receive. It's not about strict diets or restrictions, but rather about cultivating a deeper connection to your food and how it makes you feel, both physically and emotionally. You'll discover flavors and textures you never noticed before. To practice mindful eating, choose a small portion of food, perhaps a piece of fruit, a nut, or even a single bite of your meal. Before taking the first bite, observe it closely with your eyes. Notice its colors, shapes, and textures. Then bring it to your nose and inhale its aroma, truly experiencing its scent. As you take a bite, pay attention to the initial taste on your tongue, the texture, and how it feels in your mouth. Chew slowly and deliberately, noticing how the flavors evolve and change. Swallow consciously, feeling the food move down your throat, and notice any lingering tastes or sensations. This deliberate pace allows you to fully engage with the experience, making each bite a moment of mindful presence. Mindful walking is another excellent way to integrate mindfulness into your daily routine, especially if you find sitting meditation challenging. Whether you're walking around your neighborhood, moving from one room to another, or simply taking a stroll in a park, you can turn any walk into a mindful practice. This exercise helps you connect with your body, your surroundings, and the simple act of movement itself. It encourages you to step out of your head and into the present moment, noticing the world around you with fresh eyes and an open heart. Instead of rushing to a destination, mindful walking is about appreciating the journey, one step at a time. It's a wonderful way to combine physical activity with mental calm. When practicing mindful walking, pay attention to the sensations in your feet as they make contact with the ground, feeling the heel strike, the roll through the arch, and the push off from the toes. Notice the rhythm of your steps, the swing of your arms, and how your body moves through space. Expand your awareness to include the sounds around you, birds singing, traffic humming, leaves rustling, without labeling them as good or bad. Observe the sights, colors, and textures in your environment, allowing your gaze to soften and take in the broader picture rather than focusing intensely on one thing. If your mind drifts to worries or plans, gently acknowledge these thoughts and redirect your attention back to the physical sensations of walking and your surroundings. Each step becomes an opportunity for presence. For moments when you feel overwhelmed, anxious, or simply need to ground yourself quickly, the 5 senses exercise is a powerful tool. This practice is incredibly effective for bringing you back to the present moment by engaging your external senses. It helps to interrupt cycles of rumination or distress by shifting your focus from internal thoughts and feelings to the tangible world around you. It's a quick, discreet way to anchor yourself, no matter where you are or what you're doing. This exercise is especially useful during moments of intense emotion or when you feel disconnected from your surroundings, providing an immediate pathway back to reality and calm. It reminds you that you are here, now, safe in your environment. To perform the 5 senses exercise, simply go through each of your 5 senses, noticing specific details. Start by looking for 5 things you can see around you, naming them silently in your mind. Then, identify 4 things you can feel. Perhaps the texture of your clothes, the chair beneath you, or the ground under your feet. Next, notice 3 things you can hear, tuning into background noises you might have previously ignored. After that, identify 2 things you can smell, if it's just the faint scent of your own skin or the air around you. Finally, name 1 thing you can taste, whether it's the lingering taste from your last meal or simply the inside of your mouth. This structured approach helps to systematically bring your awareness into the here and now, effectively grounding you. Beyond these specific exercises, remember that mindfulness can be woven into almost any activity throughout your day. Take brief mindfulness breaks by simply pausing for a moment to notice your breath before answering the phone, drinking a glass of water, or opening a door. You can mindfully wash dishes, feeling the warmth of the water and the texture of the soap, or mindfully brush your teeth, paying attention to the sensations in your mouth. These small, consistent acts of awareness accumulate over time, gradually shifting your default mode from autopilot to engaged presence. The more you practice, the more natural and effortless it becomes to bring a mindful attitude to all aspects of your life, fostering a continuous sense of calm and clarity. Start small, be consistent, and watch your awareness grow.